So here is a little recap of the personality disorder. Personality disorders are enduring, inflexible patterns of thinking, feeling, and acting that are different, very different from what the culture expects. Alright, so it's important to know that personality disorders is not someone who's just simply different. It's a little bit more than that. Okay, so personality disorders typically start to develop in adolescence, early adulthood. There is a belief that there is some sort of genetic component to it as well. I mean, it would only make sense that, person A is born with the genes that allows this personality disorder to develop based on their environment, their upbringing, and their what took place during adolescence, so during their high school years and their early adulthood years. All right, so let's get into the three clusters of personality disorder. First cluster, cluster A, good old cluster A, and we got to start off with paranoid personality disorder. So a person who's paranoid or has a paranoid personality disorder, now these type of people are constantly very, very, very wary of other people. They are very distrustful of other people. They think that other people are out to sabotage them. They believe that, you can't trust them. They have a lot of delusions. All right. These delusions make it so that they're very suspicious of other people, and they also try to stay away from people because they think that people are out to get them, right? That they're out to harm them. So they are very, very preoccupied with loyalty and trustworthiness. They have a hard time trusting other people. They're also very jealous people as well, because they believe that, other people are trying to do something, sabotage them. They are very reluctant to talk to colleagues or their friends. They are very difficult to get along with. So they're constantly, they're being very sarcastic, they're being very secretive, they're being very combative. All this sort of stuff, is part of the paranoid personality disorder. And so we got the good old Daffy Duck here. Daffy Duck, he's very, very distrustful of other people. So it definitely suffers from the paranoid PD. Okay, next one. You have schizoid personality disorder. And good old Oscar the Grouch. Now, Oscar suffers from the schizoid because schizoid personality, the definition, I guess you could say, is when a person has a pattern of detachment from social relationships, and they have a very restricted range of emotional expression. So these people are essentially, they're loners. They develop no close relationships with anyone. They may not even have a close relationship with their family. They tend to seek out jobs that are isolated. They're kept to themselves. They are indifferent to what others think. So you see that they are socially inept. They can be seen as being self-absorbed, and that's simply because that they don't want to be around other people. They have very few goals, and they just kind of simply drift through life. That's just kind of how it is. So a lot of the type 2 of the schizophrenia-like symptoms, but again, remember, this is not schizophrenia. Okay, and the next one, and this is probably a more severe, actually not probably, it is more severe than schizoid personality disorder, is schizotypal personality disorder. So the key here is that in schizotypal PD, this is someone who has a lot of cognitive and perceptual distortions. so they have trouble thinking like other people. They also do like to be alone, avoid human contact, hence Marvin the Martian. Now, a lot of these people with this schizotypal personality disorder, they do tend to be preoccupied with paranormal phenomenon outside of what the subculture. So this is very, very odd thinking. A lot of times they believe they have special powers that only they can do. That they can read other people's thoughts. They have a lot of magic rituals, if you will. They How they talk to people is very, very, very odd. Sometimes you can't understand what they're saying. The sentences don't make sense. Very loose, very vague. They tend to a little bit of neologism, so they tend to make up some words too. So it's not that he or she is not talkative, but they would say that they're not talkable at work. It's a good example. They may also have the auditory hallucination, so they may hear someone whispering their name even though there's no one there. Again, this is not schizophrenia. This is a personality disorder. It's a pretty serious personality disorder, and this is something that even with treatment is pretty hard to treat. Some people that are schizotypal do respond well to medication, antipsychotic medication, but not all of them. All right, so the next one we have is a cluster B now, and histrionic personality disorder. So the histrionic personality disorder, you have good old Miss Piggy here, who believes that she is or needs to be the center of attention. Miss Piggy is also one of those people that uses her looks very seductively. I mean, if you're into pigs and stuff, whatever. Then of course you also have Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. So they have to be the center of attention. People must be focusing on them. These are the people that, so you say something and they say, well, this happened to me. So they always have to kind of one-up other people. Remember the acronym we talked about in class, the Praise Me acronym? So they have to be front and center. These are very dramatic people. Very, very, very moody, I should say. So this is, again, histrionic. They're very easily influenced. So there you go. All right. Next one you have is narcissistic personality disorder. So narcissistic personality disorder, these are people who believe that they are better than other people. It's not that I need to draw attention to myself, but it's because I'm just flat out better than you. That's the whole idea. They exaggerate their accomplishments. They exaggerate their abilities. They tend to appear to be very boastful. Oddly enough, this appears more in men than it does women. Histrionic appears more in women than it does men. But you see here that narcissistic people, they do tend to be very annoyed if they're not the topic of the conversation. They have a lot of fantasies, if you will, of power, of wealth, of achievement. They constantly saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They believe they are better than other people. So they believe they should be complimented. And again, they're going to tell you that they are better than you. All right. Tend to be arrogant, patronizing towards other people. They do want to have the great fanfare. So narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, the next one you have antisocial. Remember, antisocial personality disorder, these are the people that are basically have no morals. They have no regard for other people. They kind of do whatever they want. They tend to be very aggressive people. They tend to read into things, so you bump into someone who's got antisocial personality disorder in the hallways, and they're ready to fight you because, you bumped into them. So this is your psychopath or your sociopath. So antisocial personality disorder. Now, your next one is your borderline personality disorder, which tends to be the most dangerous of all the personality disorders. Borderline personality disorder are very unstable. I guess that's the best way to put borderline personality disorders. They are very unstable. So a person with borderline personality disorder, they have an unstable self-image. They are constantly changing what their goals are, changing what they want to do. They tend to be very, very impulsive. They're easily bored. They emotionally unstable. If they meet someone new, then this person is like the best thing in their life. They're quickly to share their feelings, their ideas, everything with other people right away. So these are the people that kind of, put everything on the table right away. And they're very clingy. They're also very jealous. More women tend to be or suffer from borderline personality disorder. One of the hallmarks of this is the self-mutilation. So a person who may be a cutter, cutting themselves. Well, this is one of the big signs, cutting or burning, big signs of borderline personality disorder. So there's numbers out there about 8 to 10% of people that have borderline personality disorder actually do commit suicide. So it's a pretty dangerous disorder to have. All right, last one is your cluster C. So avoidant personality disorder. Now, avoidant personality disorder, this is, the one, if someone says, you want to go out, and you're like, no, and instead of them saying you're being antisocial, you say, no, I'm actually being avoidant. So, but people that have avoidant personality disorders, these are a little more than just, I don't want to do anything with you, right? So this is the person that is very, very, very withdrawn from school, from work, from anything, because they fear rejection. And they also fear the criticism from other people. All right. So this is almost like the opposite of the histrionic. That these people do not want to be around other people. They're very afraid of what other people have to say. They're very quiet. They tend to feel that they are very inferior to other people. They tend to overreact to subtle cues. So like a person may say something like, oh, that was nice, and they may take that as being it was absolutely horrible and they're criticizing me. The next one is dependent personality disorder. So dependent personality disorder, these are the people that have to always be with someone. Like the excessive need for nurturance. So they're very clingy. They have trouble making decisions. They can't make any decisions, nothing at all. As far as they need someone else to help them pick out what to wear. They can't decide. You see here that someone with dependent personality disorder, they may bounce from relationship to relationship. So if you know someone who's constantly going through a relationship, and again, if you're 25, 30 years old, well, that might be a little bit of an issue. So anyways, to put someone up there, and if you guys know who she is, from Scooby-Doo, but definitely she's always chasing around another particular character in Scooby-Doo. But she's definitely qualified for dependent personality disorder. So the last one is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So someone who has an obsessive compulsive personality disorder, they are very devoted to their work excessively. They tend to be workaholics. Just said that. They tend to check endlessly in case they made mistakes. These people are they're I guess these are very anal people, if you will. So they don't want to waste time. They constantly have to be doing something. All right. Just doesn't matter what it is. They have to be doing something. So they have a list and they're doing it, and it must be in the correct order and this sort of thing. So this is a little bit of obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Again, not OCD, but just the OCD personality disorder. All right, well, this concludes it, and look for more to come.